Niece's and Niestas, how are you today? Welcome back to the channel. I want to thank you guys for coming back to the channel. I'm SavingsFashionista. She is I and I am her, and you have arrived to Niesta's Nation. Over here we do mainly things fragrances, and today this is fragrance content. I am about to do my March fragrance haul, or things that I got in the month of March. So if you're interested in hearing about what's new to my collection, alright, so you know the request. If you are a part of Niesta's Nation, go ahead and give the video a like. If you are not and you like what you see as far as the content, go ahead and subscribe and turn on the notification so that you will know when things are uploaded over here. So this is just something that I do on the channel. It seems like it's more monthly than it is not monthly, because one thing about the fragrance world, it's always something new, whether it's new to you or new to the market, something new and intriguing that's going to spark your your curiosity. It's just a constant cycle, constantly. But after this spring Sephora sale, I am going to discipline myself that I'm going to be on an extremely low buy. But today, you guys, I just want to share some fragrances with you. We are embarking into spring. Well, most of us, depending on the geographical region that you live in, you're already experiencing spring climates and spring weather. So I am getting into that now. We still have some 60-degree days, but I'm looking forward to the 70 and 80-degree days. So you know what time it is. It's spring fragrance. And, soon it'll be summer fragrance. But normally spring and summer, they go together. Whatever you wear in the spring, it's, feasible for the summer, just like it is with the fall and the winter. So for me, my favorite fragrance DNA when it comes to spring and summer, I love florals. I love exquisite, exotic, just fun, over the top, girly like florals. I do really enjoy those. But I have to be very careful in the spring months, because that's when you get all the pollen. And, if you have allergies like myself, you have these sinus issues going on. And you have to be very selective with your fragrances. And not only because of that reason, but I really do love the fresh, clean, girly type fragrances. So more than half of these, about half of these fragrances, because I only have like 5 fragrances. About 2 or 3 of these fragrances, they are the clean type of musky type of fragrances. And that voice you hear, hubby is in there cheering at that and screaming at the television. LSU Girls and Hour is playing, so just kind of tune him out. But I got to get this video done. So one of the first fragrances that I picked up for the month of March is this Replica fragrance. And actually, this happened about 2 weeks ago, you guys. I had was in the mood for one of my body care body creams that I really, really like. And it's by Bath and Body Works. So I was trying to find a fragrance that pairs really well with it. And I was going through my decanters, because you can find some gems in your decants if you have not yet purchased it, but you kind of forgot about it, if you received a sample or you bought some decants. So I had a Replica decant, and it was Lazy Sunday Morning. It was so good, you guys. I really enjoyed it. So I ended up purchasing that fragrance. And Lazy Sunday Morning is one of those aldehydic type of fragrances. It has that clean, soapy, musky type of fragrance note in it. And I do think it has some Lily of the Valley and maybe a little pear or something like that in it. But this is your standard bottle. This is the 30 ml that you get from Replica, and this is Lazy Sunday Morning, you guys. So if you need a everyday fresh skin type of scent, this is a perfect scent. It pairs really well with quite a few of my body care items that I already have in my collection, but I really, really like this fragrance. So this is Lazy Sunday Morning, and you can pick this up. Don't forget, the sale starts on the 14th for Rouge members. You can pick this up at Sephora and save some percentage if you are a beauty member. All right, so the next fragrance that I got, this is something that I was introduced to through the fall fragrances, and it was really, sometimes fragrances are not always released in the time frame that I think that they will be really good for. And this is what this fragrance, this is what happened with this fragrance. So in the fall, you know, we got like 7 or 8 new fragrances that had come out, and this was one of the fragrances. I will not forget my SA sending me a text message just letting me know that it had arrived to the store. And I'm not a huge Maison Francis Kurkdijan person. I like his fragrances, don't get me wrong, but I think I kind of overdid it. And you already know the most famous one, Baccarat Rouge, but he does have other fragrances that are different from Baccarat Rouge. But I'm on my second bottle of Baccarat Rouge, and I did want to add something else, you know, so I was tied between Gentle Fluidity, and then I'm like, do I really want that right now? So I was like, okay, let's just try the 724. But when I sampled it, I really enjoyed the fragrance. So since we're going into the time of the year that I think that this would be best worn in, I went ahead and purchased it. And this is the first size that I've ever had in the 1.2 full ounces. I thought that this was so cute when they came out with this size. But this is the 724, and I think that this is a remake. I think that the fragrance was out at some point, but I think they reformulated. So it's a reformulation. I don't want to say a remake. But this is the 742. And this could be assumed to be a gentleman's fragrance. It is very unisex. It's one of those type of clean fragrances that is very unisex. It's aldehydic. I love that word, but I always get twisted up with saying it. It is one of those aldehydic fragrance. And you know, aldehydic fragrance, it is a musky, soapy, airy, aquatic type of fragrance. So it does have some bergamot in it, and I think it has Egyptian musk in it. So, you know, a lot of us will probably think that this is a light fragrance, and it is, you know, compared to his others, you know, like the Oud Satin Mood, the Grand Soiree, and the Baccarat Rouge. It is, but I do think it has its place. So if you are a person who like those clean, fresh type of fragrances, I think you should at least go in and sample it. And there are ways that you can extend the longevity of your fragrance, just depending on how you apply the fragrance and how you combine it with other things. But I wore it, and so far I'm liking what I see. Not liking what I see, but I'm liking what I experienced when I wore it for the first time. So again, this is 724 by Maison Francis Kurkdijan. Alright, so of course, the highlight of the show, let's just go ahead and talk about her. She is worthy of all her praise. You know, some of you may beg to differ. I'm sorry, but you know, you're gonna always have people who really like it and people who don't. And I think that this is becoming one of those fragrances. You either like it or you don't. I don't even think it's anywhere in between. But this is the KayAli Yum Pistachio 33. I am totally enjoying this fragrance. This fragrance, I told you guys on one of my reels that this fragrance reminded me of something, and I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. So for my girls, that's from the candle community, or if you're familiar with this candle. There was a candle that came out last summer, or either summer before last, same type of green, but it was a single wick, and it was called Pistachio Ice Cream. So that same sweet pistachio note that you smell in that candle, if you have not smelled this fragrance, or if you have, if you agree or disagree with me, that's the pistachio note that I'm getting in this fragrance. So memorable that I don't even have the candle in my collection anymore. I went through my last single wick till I vividly remember. So let's look at the dent here. Look at the dent. I definitely know that I will be getting another one of these by the end of summer, because I have really been wearing this. It has fragrance notes of pistachio gelato, hazelnut, it has some rum, it has some whipped cream, marshmallow, and cotton candy. So you guys stay tuned for the full dedicated review. But you know, I'm kind of slow with my full dedicated reviews because I really like to try to embody the fragrance. And this right here, it's good. I'm sorry, I'm on the good side. I'm over here, I'm feeling it. And you know, Someone said in my comments that she felt that it dried down on her and it became very woody, and I totally understand, because you do get that woodiness to it, which could be very, it's hard sometimes for me to differentiate the woodiness and the nuttiness if they're both in a fragrance. That's just me, but I totally get and understand what she's saying. When it dried down, it became more of a woody fragrance on her, and of course if it's giving her that, I can see why she is not as favorable to it as I am, but I like it, really enjoying it. I think if you layer it with something that's much more sweet, you will probably get a longer lasting of that sweet cream or marshmallow note that it has in it. You will get more of that, but I'm here for it, totally here for it. So this is the KayAli Yum Pistachio 33. KayAli have some names before I tell you. All right, so another one. Now this girl right here, AI, she made me do it, really influenced me. Her review on this is so outstanding till I'm like, she described this, and the way she described this, it really kind of personified and embodied my personality as a female. So she said that this was the type of fragrance that it gives boss girl energy, but she's real reserved, laid back, and it's just like she's observant, and that's definitely the type of person I am, you know, confident in who I am, but I'm not a big talker, I'm not a big socializer, good heart, but I'm just real reserved and very observant of my surroundings. So this is the Andromeda by Tiziana Terenzi. So this is a power bomb of fragrance notes. The fragrance notes, you know, after you get more than 5 or 6 fragrance notes in a fragrance, it becomes very complex to me. And I just want to read these notes to y'all, so give me a minute. It has ylang ylang, white jasmine, bergamot, grass. It has peach, pear blossom, lily, white heliotrope, violet leaf, rose, cashmere wood, ebony, amber, tonka bean, coconut, vanilla, and sugar. But her bottles are just beautiful within themselves. So I wore this out on a date night, and when I say that this is long lasting, I mean it's long lasting. This fragrance definitely falls in the category of my top tier fragrance. Nomad by Bun number 9. It has that same type of DNA as this. The Herb Pura by Xerjoff, same type of just over the top DNA. So this just outside of the clean girl fragrance, but it does have its place, and I do think that it is a spring summer fragrance. Very beautiful. It wore extremely well last weekend on date night, and I can't wait to experience it more. So again, this is Andromeda by Tiziana Terenzi. And I'm sorry you guys, my ring light is fading us out. All right, and the latest fragrance that I got, I did order this in March, but the shipping on this was weird. All of my stuff was just weirdly shipped, you know, things that I had ordered. So it had to be the parcel or the delivery people, I guess, on my end. I don't really know. But Glossier, you went to Sephora to sample this fragrance, you guys, on my last trip to Sephora. Got in there, I was talking to the SA, and she was like, no, we're out, because I had already saw that they were out online, and she was like, no, we're out, we can't keep this fragrance in. And I'm like, yeah, I know, I get it. So I was like, well, may I see the tester? And she was like, that's out. So she said, but hold on, do you know that sweet SA, she went and she got wherever she got it from, and she had taken the itomizer off, and she was forcing some of the fragrance to come out in a tissue just so that I can sample it. And I understood then what the hype was. But this is a very minimalistic type of fragrance. It definitely falls in the clean girl type of fragrance. It only has like 3 fragrance notes: musk, powder, and iris. So the technology behind this fragrance is supposed to be one of those fragrances that are such of a skin scent, and that are the fragrance notes are so mild till it goes in with your body chemistry, pheromones, and it creates a different type of fragrance for every person. So that right there within itself, it made me extremely curious. So I've been hearing about this with some of the larger content creators, not just in the fragrance community, but some of the girls that are big time vloggers, and they speak really highly of this. And I noticed that every time I would window shop on Sephora online, this was always sold out. But you can get it on Glossier. Just don't expect the shipping to be fast. That was my issue. But it's a really nice fragrance. So I am really excited about wearing this just to have my antennas up to see if this is creating a fragrance that I have never smelled before. So that's what's so exciting about this. And it should be a little long lasting because it is an EDP, so it has mostly oil contents in it. But very excited about my haul. I am preparing notes for my Sephora. Well, I've already got my cart together, so stay tuned. I will be sharing with you skincare recommendations. I think I have maybe 1 or 2 makeup items because I don't do a lot of makeup, but I'm really trying to learn. And I have some fragrance recommendations as well as items that I have on my wish list. So I want to thank you guys so much. Please drop in the comments below what you're wearing today, as well as some fragrances that are on your wish list that you desire to get for the summer or the spring. And let's just have conversation. Turn me on, because I appreciate you guys, because you put me on to a lot of things. So not only do I try to encourage or influence you, but you definitely do it with me. So thank you again, and do not forget, you, yes you are great. Bye-bye.